Hi everyone, my name is Kenneth Torregano and this is my discussion board number 2 video on leadership skills and decision making biases. Starting off with leadership skills, I believe that within my organization the leadership skill most valued is technical skills. I'd say the leadership skills most lacking are human skills and conceptual skills. I think we could all agree that the oil and gas industry is a very technical business. So I understand the need for leaders at top to have a strong technical background. But I have this theory. I don't know if some of you have run into it, but I'd like to know what you think. It seems to me, from my experiences in the workforce, as technical skills of an individual increases, their human skills or conceptual skills seem to decrease. So it's moving in this kind of direction. I'll talk about the department that I work in for a little bit, which is gas operations, natural gas operations, and pipeline control. We have 2 supervisors and 1 head manager. The 2 supervisors both report up to the manager, but they all oversee the group of workers in the department. The supervisor number 1, I would rate him as being the most technically qualified. He's a worker who started out in the field and worked his way up the ladder, and anything in regards to the pipeline and any technical subject you throw his way, he knows the answer. He's a technical master. However, his people skills are horrible. It causes others to want to avoid him because he's perceived as being rude and gruff and unapproachable. But on technical matters, I would hold him in the highest regard as far as his knowledge. And then there's our second supervisor, who I would rate as being less technical, but he's very personable and caring towards the employees, and he sees them all as individuals, and people notice that. And his technical skills, although they're not as great as the other supervisor, people feel most comfortable going to him with issues that arise, and that's just the way that it is, because he's inviting, and people aren't put off by his rudeness. Then there's the manager in the department, who I would best describe as being somewhat distant and mysterious to some degree. Excellent at speaking to an audience, but not so much at talking or having a conversation with people one-on-one, if you could understand what I'm saying. Great at speaking at others in a group setting, but just when it comes to the one-on-one, you get a lot of kind of one-word answers, and you just feel like the conversation isn't flowing. But he does give an awesome presentation. I'm thinking about this as I speak about it, and I'm starting to wonder if the leadership skill valued most at my company is the skill to give a speech or a PowerPoint presentation. I guess moving on to part two, the decision-making biases. I chose one from the wiki link, and I chose the ambiguity effect. I think that's the most obvious choice as being most relevant in my organization. The ambiguity effect is the tendency to avoid options for which missing information makes the probability seem unknown. And it took me about 3 years of experience to wrap my arms around how the business model worked, and what upper management was trying to accomplish. And I'd say my organization is very risk adverse. It's a risk adverse organization, low risk, low reward most of the time, but they're happy with that. They're happy with having a very predictable and safe 6 to 8% rate of return with very little risk of losing money, which is fine if that's your plan and you're accomplishing it. Then I think that's all good. But if you're a younger employee, new in the industry, and you are creative and you'd like to get out there and have at it at some projects that allow you to be creative, you're not gonna find it where I'm working at. Those projects are just not many of them around. At times it feels like they're playing, upper management is playing to not lose the ball game instead of playing to win. It's a sports analogy. It's a great segue into my fantasy football league. I'm 1-1 right now. I lost the first game and it felt awful. I instantly, almost immediately regretted joining a fantasy football league. But then this week 2, I totally obliterated the person I was playing, and it felt so good. The gratification of winning by a landslide has me looking forward to game 3. I'll continue to keep you guys posted. Thanks for checking out my video.